Welcome back to Hannity. So over the weekend, 2 Coptic Christian churches in Egypt were brutally attacked by suicide bombers. ISIS is claiming responsibility for these horrific acts of evil and terror. Dozens were killed and more than 100 injured after the coordinated attacks targeted Palm Sunday services at Christian churches in 2 different cities. Joining us now, the author of this brand new book, The True Jesus, Uncovering the Divinity of Christ in the Gospels, David Limbaugh. By the way, he's done legal work for me in the past. Here's what I want to ask you. So this has now become like a big passion. We see Christian genocide around the world. Why?
Well, people don't accept Christianity. People see Christianity as a threat, and they see them as intolerant. But truthfully, the radical Muslims will not accept Christians or Jews.
It's convert or die.
Yeah, convert or die, submit or die, and that's what they do with the Jews and Christians.
All right, so I'm looking at your book, and by the way, this is now your 3rd book. Most people know you for your political commentary.
Yes.
And your columns that you've written all these years. This is your 3rd book on the divinity, on Christianity. But you always try to make it so that the average person can understand it.
Yes.
This is a passion of yours.
Yes. Well, the first book I ever wrote, which didn't get published, was about the Bible, because I was so passionate when I first became a Christian. And some of the things I learned I didn't know before, and I wanted to share. So it's kind of been a fulfillment, a consummation of a dream I had. And this is the 3rd book. And can I tell you a little bit about what the book's about?
Absolutely. Because you do this for basically for guys like me that are not as studied as you are.
But I think that I can relate to people in a way that a pastor might not be able to, or reach people, because I have a platform on politics, a little bit on religion, and I think I can reach them. And that, I think, is my duty, to evangelize to people that I might be able to relate to and reach. I think many people are intimidated by the Bible and the Gospels. So my goal with this book is to introduce readers to the true Jesus of the Gospels, not the Jesus of the popular culture, not the milquetoast, not the guy that is salt and light and peace and never takes a stand.
What's the difference between the pop culture and the real Jesus in the Bible?
The real Jesus is truth with a capital T. He says he came to divide. Yes, he's the Prince of Peace, but not at his first coming. At his first coming, he said that he wouldn't make things easy. He gave us a perfect moral standard to live up to, which we can't live up to unless we put our saving faith in him, because he lived a perfect life, died a sacrificial death, so that we could live eternally. And that's what he gives us an exacting moral standard. He says that he came to divide, that brother against brother, mother against son, father against son. And so he's not a milquetoast. He took a whip of cords to cleanse the temple. He denounced the Pharisees for being...
Which were the religious leaders of the time.
Because they were...
And the Sadducees.
Yes, because they weren't internally righteous, they were externally righteous, was the view. But my goal is to encourage readers to read the Gospel and be introduced to the living God, the living Son of God. Jesus comes alive in the Gospels.
He suffered himself, though. I mean, in the Garden of Gethsemane, right.
He sweat blood. And I just came back from Israel and saw exactly where that occurred.
All right, so when you reconcile that we're all flawed,
yes,
that there is human evil,
yes,
and then why, when they get saved, why do they keep doing the wrong thing?
Because no one ever promised that you would be free of sin, sin-free this side of eternity. We have to exercise the spiritual disciplines, and we are empowered to overcome sin every day, but we're still going to be sinners.
Do you believe, as writing as much about politics as you do, and writing all these books on religion, I know you devote literally years of your life now studying and writing.
Yes.
Do you believe that they're interconnected? In other words, like you have the book of Revelation, you have...
Yes. I think the whole entire Bible is unified and integrated, and man fell at the beginning. God immediately gave his offer of redemption at the very beginning, and the New Testament consummates the Old Testament, and all the prophecies and the promises become fulfilled in Jesus Christ. But I need to... Can I say it real quickly?
Real quick.
This is 2 parts, this book. The first 4 introduce you to the Bible, the intertestamental history, gives us the background, what the world Jesus came into at the time he entered history. The second part is the bulk of it, chapters 5 through 12. Where
you go through them all.
Through them all. Every event in the Gospels, I just harmonize and summarize and condense so that you read all the Gospels all the events that occurred, all the speeches. Sometimes I paraphrase.
And put them together.
Put them together in roughly chronological order. You can't have a perfect harmony, and I don't attempt to. But I want to expose the readers to every event, every speech of the Gospels,
right.
and then do a commentary all the way through to help people understand and excite people, because Jesus comes alive. No fiction writer could have invented such a character.
The True Jesus, and thank you, David Limbaugh. Another great book, another New York Times bestseller on the way.